But I want to thank the Honorable Salas Muhammad. I want to thank Madam President of the Afrodescendant Nation. And I want to dearly thank Sister Abubakar, Attorney Abubakar Muhammad, for that piece of history. I didn't have that. I had little tiny bits and pieces of it, but that was extraordinary to hear just that summation. I've been on all day because I wanted to hear everybody. I wanted to get a sense, because my purpose is to be inspirational. You don't need any more technical details and stuff. You've got it. You've got to work. You know, the bottom line is that we deserve and we will have restitution, compensation, and reparations because we deserve it. A crime was committed against our peoples. A genocide was committed and is continuous against our people in all the spheres, in our cultural realm, our spiritual realm, our economic realm, you know, and the destruction of our name, our family linkages, our cultural practices, our spiritual knowledge, and our religious systems. And if we're to be whole, we need the opportunity to be repaired. And I've listened to all of those speaking, those who talked about the economic repair, the political repair, the cultural repair, the spiritual repair. But the chief thing is the unity issue. We must be clear that we're going to be united no matter what. We know that on the 14th, there's a conference on reparations taking place in Ghana, West Africa, which is sponsored by the African Union. And they're looking at the relationship between the thrust of the continental African states and community and the relationship of setting up that struggle with those of us in the diaspora who are fighting for reparations. So we know that this reparations movement, we know of the CARICOM movement, we know that it's worldwide. Multiple other African states are thrusting, Kenya and others, forward with their reparations performance. The Ghana piece is to kind of give a kind of a blueprint on how the whole continent should come together to approach it. And I'm hoping them the greatest success. I think it's from the 14th to the 17th of this month. But for what I've heard today, I think the Afro-Descendant Nation, and thanks to Honorable Salas Muhammad, have really pulled together a network of scholarship, a network of expertise that have looked at this struggle. I think I was one in the founding membership of NCOBRA down in Philly so many years ago. I forgot how long it went. One of my first teachers when I joined Malcolm's OAAU was looking at his sister Ella Collins, but also looking at our great female leaders. There were multiple of them. This is not a new occasion to see our sisters rise up with such power. With Sister Moore, Queen Mother Moore was one of the sisters that was leading us youngsters. I think I was 21 years old then, into trying to understand how to fight for reparations. And this is a struggle that has gone on since the day we stepped out of the slavery, chattel, chain slavery condition. This is not a new struggle. We're continuing the struggle and trying to define it in the context that we can bring victory to it. But I think one thing we must also realize, and I think it was the young brother, Eunice, talking about it, we are wealthy people, one of the wealthiest African populations in the world. This year, we'll probably give away, not spend, something close to $2 trillion in consumer dollars to our enemies. There's very few nations in the world that have $2 trillion to spend. If we look, the majority of the African American population in the United States have moved southwards of the Mason-Dixie line. And we still own millions of acres of land that is ununited in our relationships. So we already have a landmass nation already here. And we certainly, if we take in the real estate ownership across the United States, because you don't have to be contiguous to be a nation in terms of real estate relationships. We have the wealth. We need the knowledge that brings about the kind of unity where we can unite economically, we can unite politically, and we can unite culturally. And I think the discussion today tells me that that is very, very possible. That is very, very possible. And we have the resources necessary to function as a nation right now if we can come to the realization of the political unity, the economic unity, the cultural unity. And when I say cultural unity, I'm talking about all of those spiritual and religious systems that we are part of, that at the end of the day, there's only one God in the universe. It doesn't care what we call it. Religions are simply different approaches to trying to access that divine essence. So I'm just honored and pleased to be among the extraordinary minds that I've heard today, and the extraordinary analysis and the extraordinary work that the different organizations have put in and it is putting in. And I think this effort, and I'm going to try to stay on board for as long as it takes for every conference that you have and every effort I can do with the Sons of Africa and the OAU and the other formations I work with to make sure we bring our strength to help the Afro-descendant nation accomplish this mission that you're on. Thank you very much.